Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Turn this around. Welcome to the video. Wait for everyone to join with us. Can anyone still hear me? Everyone's good? Chat, how we doing? Perfect. Welcome. Welcome to the smut reading. Things are different this time. Got a new setup. How's everyone doing? Wait for everyone to join us. We'll talk for a little bit and then we'll get into the book. Damn. All right. How's everyone doing? Everyone doing good? Doing good today? I want you guys to be able to read along with me this time. So that's what we're gonna do. But other than that, how else is everyone doing today? Everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's having a good day. Now we go into the dark hours. We'll start at 10 o'clock to start reading. We'll start at 10 o'clock to start reading. We're starting off with chapter 9. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Oh, there we go. Give it a few minutes. Wait for everyone else to join us. While we're waiting, we could talk about what happened last night. I don't remember last night. All I know is I did that. So, yeah, I reviewed the footage and made an absolute fool of myself. What damn tight. Keeps choking me. Which means it's perfect for a video like this. Thank you for the follow, Murphy. I really appreciate it. All right. So about 9:50, we'll go ahead and get into it. Yeah. So, to go back and talk about the book. Where we left off, first 9 chapters, Riot was in the middle of becoming a lord, and when he becomes a lord, you go ahead and you get more, what was it, trials, and during those trials, he had to kill someone. He had to kill someone, he had to get in a fist fight with someone. What was the other one? After the fist fight was like a mission that he did with Matt, and Matt wanted to rape like a girl. Before getting into it and reading about this, want to let you guys know that I do not condone anything that does happen in this book. This is just for audio pleasure for people listening, reading. If you want to read along, read along. If you want to listen, you're welcome to listen. We got about 2 more minutes before we start. I'm gonna get a few stretches in. Man. How we looking, chat? We looking good? Look pretty fine, right? Gotta get it in, get the stretches in. Wake up. Some water. Alright, chat. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. I apologize. We still got to get into it. All right. Music's a little too loud for me. I'm gonna turn it down. All right. I'm going to get into it. How's everyone feeling right now? Feeling good? Cool. Alright, let's go. Sarah? I spin around, expecting her to have followed me, but I freeze when I see one of those mask-covered men standing in the room with me. Oh, my eyes go to the door as I take a step back, stumbling into the footboard. He steps into me, and I suck in a breath. When he lifts his hands and pushes my hair back, I watch wide-eyed and half paralyzed as he lowers his hand down over my shirt, pressing the material softly to my chest. He gets to my breast and tilts his head to the side, the pressure of my bra rubbing on my nipple making it harden. I gasp when he rips off my name tag. He wads it up in his hand and tosses it to the floor, landing at our feet. Matt? I swallow my tongue heavy. The figure shakes his head, and I whimper. Why do I believe it's not him? And why don't I care? I'm sorry. I lick my numb lips. I shouldn't have. I'll leave. I stumble over my words as I go to walk around him. But his hand comes out, wrapping around my waist and pulling my back to the front of his body. My breath rushes out of my lungs. I'd rather you not. He whispers roughly into my ear. I try to think if I've heard his voice before, but the song Killing Me Slowly by Bad Wolves is too loud and my mind is foggy. A chill runs up my back, making me shiver without permission. His free hand yanks my shirt up, and then his warm hand lands on my stomach. My heart races when his hand starts making his way up my ribcage into my bra. I swallow nervously, and my thighs tighten. When he slides his hand under the material and up over my sensitive breast, I should be embarrassed for 2 reasons. 1, he's a stranger, and 2, my chest is wet from the alcohol spilled on it. But that's not the case. As I lean my head back on his chest, a moan escapes my numb lips. I lick them just in case I'm drooling. I've imagined what it would feel like to be touched, to know what it's like to be sexually wanted for so long. I wish I wasn't so drunk, so I could really take it in. I was watching you earlier, he admits shamelessly into my ear. He's over you. Let me help you get over him. His words once again tell me it's not Matt. He saw us? Was that why I felt like I was being watched before? Before I found Matt with that girl? It was him? His words once again tell me it's not Matt. His hand around my waist lowers to my jeans. His fingers softly run back and forth along the top of the material, making my body break out in goosebumps. Will you let me help you? My head is swimming, the room tilting. My heart is racing. My body is on fire, and all of a sudden, everything is hot. Getting undressed sounds like an amazing idea. I nod and breathe. Yeah, why not? I'm single now. Matt has no one. Why can't I? It's not like I loved him. It's the fact that he was fucking cheating on me when he wouldn't even fuck me. Stay right where you are, he orders. Understand? Swallowing the lingering taste of vodka from that last drink, I answer. Yes. He lets go, and I watch him walk out from behind me and over to the door. He locks it, then turns to face me. I look up at him. He's got an all-white mask on. He's got black lines through it in various places to make it look like it's cracked. The eyes have black circles around them, and the lips are filled in the same color. For some reason, it's not as frightening as it should be. Maybe that's the alcohol talking. I've never done something so bold before, so reckless. Something that is 100% my decision. My mother would throw a fit if she knew I was drunk at this party, and let alone locked in a room with a stranger who hasn't shown me his face, stepping into me. He lifts his right hand and once again runs it down my face and neck, pausing on my pulse. It's racing, my breathing ragged. I feel like I might pass out soon. Dropping his hand, he walks behind me again, and I hear the drawer open and close. Then darkness covers my eyes. I lift my hands to remove it. What? The material falls to my feet, and my arms are grabbed and yanked behind my back. Then I'm bent over the side of the bed. I'd scream, but my breath gets caught in my throat. He holds my wrist crossed with one hand, while I hear the sound of metal before something cold is tightened around each wrist. Stay, he growls. Before I feel the loss of his body, I'm panting, my body shaking while I wait here like an obedient dog, pulling on what I can only think to be handcuffs. Seconds later, that material is placed back over my eyes, taking away my sight. It's tied in a knot, securing it in its place. Wow. We get back to reading, and this is where we leave off. He grabs me by my hair, yanking me to stand, and I cry out, surprised it didn't rip the blindfold off. You could take it off when I'm done with you. His voice is rougher than it was a second ago, almost angry. It makes my legs tighten and my pussy throb. I moan in acceptance for whatever the stranger wants to do with me. My body has been screaming in silence for years for someone to touch it, to have their way with it. I can't satisfy it, not like I crave. Imagine having to scratch an itch that you can't reach no matter how hard you try, or trying to scream underwater for help, knowing that no one can hear you. Matt turned me down countless times. I once tried to seduce him on the golf course and he yelled at me when we got back to his parents, telling me it was embarrassing how I rubbed my ass against him while his friends were only a few feet away. No one was paying any attention to us, and it's not like I was naked. I was wearing a skirt. All he had to do was lift it up and touch me. The man slaps my ass, making me jump and cry out. "Answer me," he demands in my ear. Did he ask me a question? I try to rack my drunk brain, but come up with nothing. So I just say yes. His hand comes around the front of my jeans and he unzips them. Yes, I repeat again, just in case he didn't hear me for the first time, as the song changes to guest room by echoes. I know I'm going to agree to whatever the fuck the stranger wants from me, hoping he could show me what my body was meant to do, because I feel like I've been missing something. Wow, now we go back to Riot. Okay, so this is Riot doing it. I toss her onto the bed, lying on her back. She cries out when she lands on her restrained wrist. I yank my mask off and drop it to the floor. Then I remove her heels before pulling her jeans down her legs. Yes. Sorry. I might have to do the moan, aren't I? You know what? She moans, arching her back. I remove her underwear as well, and placing them in my pocket. She won't be getting those back. Crawling onto the bed, I spread her legs while running my hands up her thighs. They shake, and she's panting. I imagine her like this with Matt, and my fingers dig into her skin. I hope the bastard saw me following her off the dance floor. Whimpering, she gets my attention, and I let up on her, spreading her legs wider. I lean down and look over her pussy. It's clean shaven and glistening, already making my mouth start watering instantly. Running my thumb over it, I spread her open and lower my face, licking her pretty cunt. Her hips jump. I hold them down in place. Oh God, she trails off. She's wet, so I slip a finger into her easily. It's warm and so fucking tight. I pause as Gunner's words come back to me from the other day. Blakely, I say, pushing a second one into her, making her hiss in a breath. She arches her back, lips parted and whimpers. Yeah? She's too drunk to even realize I call her by her name. Have you ever been fucked? I ask her, removing my fingers and pushing them into her again while twisting them to where they turn inside her and reach upward slowly. I'm taking my time because I don't want to hurt the poor girl. Not yet. But once she's my chosen, all bets are off. This is what the oath is for, restraint. It's about thinking things through and outliving our opponent. Wear them down, show no mercy. We are stronger than them. No, she bucks her hips. Fuck. I growl before sinking my teeth into her thigh, making her flinch on a soft cry. My cock is so fucking hard. It's pressing painfully against the inside of my jeans. For 3 years, I've done what was asked for me. I can't break that oath. I just have to wait a little longer. Removing my fingers, I replace them with my tongue and lick her wet pussy, making her moan. I do it again and throw her legs over my shoulders to get a better hold on her writhing body while I show her why I'm the better choice for her. Matt is going to hate me because I'm going to fuck his future wife. She will be my chosen, and I will use her in more ways than she ever knew was possible. I'll leave scars he'll have to look at every day, knowing I once fucking owned her. Jesus Christ. Okay, so it's getting really fucking graphic. I don't know if I'm supposed to, like, when reading it and reading that she moans out something, I can't read in like, yes, no. I feel like it needs character, like a high pitch, like, yes, like that, right? Or like a, no. I don't know. I feel like we need to add stuff to this, right? That's what we're thinking. So now we go back to Blakely's perspective, her point of view. You really don't remember? Sarah asked me while walking down the hallway of Barrington Monday morning. Nope, I answer. She frowns, tilting her head to the side in thought. After a long pause, she speaks. Well, that sucks. Right. What about you? She shakes her head. Must have had a great time. I laugh as she smiles. I allowed a stranger to blindfold me, cuff my wrist behind my back, and I'm not even sure if we had sex. I do, however, remember him throwing me onto the bed and going down on me. I fucking screamed. Or at least I did in my head as I came all over his face. Then I think I blacked out. I woke up the next morning in my bed, Sarah in hers, and my car in the parking lot of our apartment complex. Our cell phones, IDs, and my car keys were sitting on the kitchen counter with no explanation of how they got there. However, hello, delightful. However, my underwear was missing, but otherwise, I dressed in the clothes I went wearing. We did nothing but lay on the couch, wrapped in blankets, eating greasy cheeseburgers, trying to get rid of our hangovers. She was sick most of the day, and I felt like I was dying. Thankfully, we felt much better today. Have you heard from Matt? She asked. Another no. Another no, I growl. I do, however, remember that motherfucker and his girlfriend. He's the main reason I even let the stranger touch me. I'm more pissed at Matt than I am at the fact that I may have lost my virginity and I can't even remember it. When I woke up in my bed Saturday morning, I was pretty sore between my legs with bite marks on my inner thigh. He hasn't even called you to try to explain himself or ask for forgiveness? I shake my head. What a piece of shit. She snaps and softens her voice. I'm sorry. It's fine. You know what they say. Better to find out rather than 5 years. Better to find out now than rather than 5 years down the road and 3 kids later. My cell phone rings in my back pocket, and I pull it out to see if it's my mother. I'll meet you in class. Walking off, I answer, hello? Good morning, dear. How are things going? I wonder if she's calling me because Matt's mother has informed her of our breakup. They are best friends. Fine, I answer, testing the waters. Nothing new to tell me? She asks in that voice that tells me she already knows something. No, I lie. She sighs heavily. Well, I just spoke to Kimberly and she said that she heard you and Matt got into a fight this past weekend. Fight? I snort. I snort. The pussy lied to his mother. He was cheating on me, Mom. We broke up. Why should I have to hide who he really is? Plus, telling her now is better than doing it in person. She can chase me from room to room, and our house is big. Now I could tell her how I feel, then hang up and go about my day. You know that no relationship is perfect, right? She responds. My mouth falls open. I know she's not implying what I think she is. You can't be serious. You can't be serious. Of course I am. I think your father and I have given you a false representation of what marriage is like. Bitch, this mom's pissing me off right now. No, don't say no relationship is perfect. He fucking cheated on her. And she's more than welcome to feel however the fuck she wants to feel. But the fact that her mom is saying like, Oh no, it's not everything's perfect. You should still be with him. Fuck that. She does not need to be with that piece of shit. Fuck that dude. And I hope Riot fucks her. Sorry. Small little rant. I apologize. Yeah, generational trauma. So you think I should put up with someone being unfaithful? I snap. Oh, her mom actually decided to say, oh, you know, not every relationship is perfect, even though he's the one that fucking cheated on her. Matt cheated on Blakely. Blake got upset. Blakely walked away. Riot approached her in a fucking mask, ended up touching her, eating her out, and don't know if they fucked or not. But I think they didn't. But she woke up with really sore legs and whatnot, told her mom that, hey, Matt cheated on me, I'm fucking done with him. And she says she has the fucking audacity to say, you know that no relationship is perfect, and then says, I think your father and I have given you false representation of what a marriage is like. This fucking bitch. I'm sorry, if that was my mom, I'm throwing fucking hands. Back to it, I apologize. So you think I should put up with someone being unfaithful, I snap? I think the sacrifices are made in marriage. I think the sacrifices are made in a marriage. Well, thankfully, I haven't fucking married him, I interrupt her, my blood boiling. I don't know why I'm mad, because I knew she'd be this way, but that's why I was afraid to tell her what happened. The wedding is still on, Blakely? Oh, the wedding is still on, Blakely, she states. She wants it to be next summer after I graduate. She and Kimberly have been planning it for years. Mom, you have plenty of time to work through things. This is an opportunity for you. Oh, this bitch. This mom is pissing me the fuck off. Okay. I blink. An opportunity? For what? I wonder. Oh, for what? I wonder. You'll see. And then she hangs up. I pull the phone away from my ear and just stare at it. What the hell is she referring to? An opportunity for what? To see how far he'll go to make it up to me? The fucker hasn't even reached out to me. Silence speaks louder than any gift a man can give you. If he wanted to, he would, and all that shit. If a woman would just pay attention, a man will tell her everything she needs to know without him even saying a damn word. My mother once went 2 weeks without even looking my father's way. He bought her a vacation home, an oceanfront estate in Southampton. After that, she forgave him quicker than a stack of cards falling over from a breeze. Now, I understand it. An opportunity to see what I can get out of him? Too bad there's nothing that fucker could give me that would make me forgive his cheating ass. Good for you, Blakely. Good for you. I silence my phone before placing it back in my pocket. And I have that feeling creeping up my spine again, like someone is watching me. Looking up, I find a set of emerald eyes. It's Riot. He's leaning up against the far wall. A girl with a short, bleached blonde hair stands in front of him, and she's speaking to him, but she's looking at me. He doesn't seem to care that I caught him staring. Then, like he never even saw me standing there, he looks down at the girl who continues their conversation. He nods a few times, then his lips start moving, but I can't hear what they're talking about. A guy bumps my shoulder, pushing me to the side, not even bothering to say he's sorry. I spin around, looking at all the faces that fill the hall. My breathing picks up, thinking about the weekend at the House of the Lords. It could literally be anybody. I didn't think about it that night, but now that I'm sober, it's got me wondering, what if it was Matt? I asked him and he said no. But that doesn't mean he was telling the truth. Fuck, he's already been lying to me. What's one more? I try to remember what his voice sounded like, but I can't. I do remember him saying that Matt was over me, and he had been watching me. But maybe that was his way of telling me he was done with me. He didn't like that I caught him and left him. He wanted that power. Or I'm overthinking it, and it's someone else. It could have been someone who doesn't even go to Barrington. It's a college town tucked back in the mountains of Pennsylvania. But that doesn't mean people don't vacation here. Some cabins sit in these mountains that cost millions. And we're only an hour away from a large city. People come out here all the time to get away for the weekend. But why the cloaks and the masks? That part didn't really make sense. Were the lords dressed that way? Or was it something else? The reasonable answer has to be Matt. He knew I was there. He knew I was mad at him. And that was his way to get even. He fucks someone, then makes me think I fucked someone else. No hard feelings. It's a trick. He played on me. Hey, I turn around to see Matt standing in front of me as I summoned him. Hey, I laugh maniacally. I'm pretty sure I'm having a fucking mental breakdown, and the first thing he decides to say to me after I find him cheating is, hey, we need to talk. His eyes narrow on me with accusation. Talk? What is there to say? I think about what my mother said to me, and I decide to use this chance as a opportunity. It's not just the kind she meant. I think we said enough at the party. I cross my arms over my chest. He runs a hand through his hair. I wanted to talk to you. He pauses and looks over my shoulder, squaring his. His eyes come back to mine. Ashley got sick and we had to leave before I could find you again. Wait. I hold up my hands. So we didn't see each other again? I'm not even surprised he left with her. He frowns. No. So it wasn't him I spread my legs for. For some reason, that makes me feel better. I'd rather it be a complete stranger. Anyone but him. Why? He asks. No reason. I blow him off, going to step away, but he grabs my upper arm and yanks me to a stop. What the fuck did that mean, Blakely? He growls, getting in my face. I lick my lips and give him a sweet smile. Fuck you, Matt. I just realized you weren't the guy I fucked last night. Okay. Oh, that's what she says. Okay. Okay, I lick my lips and give him a sweet smile. Under my breath, fuck you, Matt. Then says, I just realized you weren't the guy that I fucked that night. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure I had sex, but I want him to think I did. He not only cheated, but he also lied to me because he told me he was going back to Texas for the weekend. He thought he'd be safe at the House of Lords knowing I wouldn't be there. Fuck. What if I hadn't gone? How long would he have kept this from me? Would we still be pretending that we're a couple? What? He shouts, tightening his hand on my upper arm. You what? You're hurting me. I try to pull away and he yanks me closer to him, lowering his face to mine. He snaps, you better be joking, Blakely. I swear to God. Problem? I look over to see Riot has joined the conversation, now standing next to us. Matt growls at him. Go away. I wasn't speaking to you. His green eyes met mine, crossing his arms over his chest. Is this man bothering you? The tone of his voice doesn't sound concerned in the least. A total contradiction to his question. Matt snorts. I'm her boyfriend, you know that. Now fuck off, Riot. No, you're not. And yes, he is, I answer him. Finally able to yank my arm free of Matt's grip, rubbing the sensitive skin. You just admitted to cheating on me, and you're saying I'm the problem? Matt shouts, getting everyone's attention. You were cheating on me. I shove my finger into his hard chest. And that's why I dumped your lying ass. He runs his hands through his hair, releasing a deep breath. His body is tense, and he looks like he's about to punch something. I knew you'd be just another fucking whore. You've been throwing yourself at me for years. I want to be embarrassed that
I want to be embarrassed that he just said I beg him for sex, but I can't. I'm in too much shock that he's mad I cheated on him when he was the one who was actually cheating. I broke up with him, then messed around with a stranger, not the other way around. Riot looks back at Matt and tilts his head to the side. Looks like someone chose your bitch. He shrugs carelessly. Told you that would happen. You son of... Matt? What the actual fuck? His girlfriend also joins in on our conversation? Does she go to Barrington? If so, what year is she? What? Oh, what's going on? She asks, coming up to us, her eyes searching all of ours. Matt thins his lips. I wait for him to push her away to explain all of this to me. He said we needed to talk, so now is his best chance if he's ever seen one. He can fill her in on us, and I could find out just how long he's been screwing her. Instead, he takes her hand, yanks her down the hall. She throws a look of concern over her shoulder at me, and I have a second pity for her. I bet she didn't even know about me. Unbelievable. I mutter to myself, a laugh escaping my lips. What did I really expect from Matt, though? He has already proven to me what kind of man he is. I just never paid much attention. Now my eyes are wide open. I see Riot lower his lips to my ear, the corner of my eye. My laughter stops, and I hold my breath as he whispers, Told you he was over you. I inhale sharply as he pulls away. Reaching up, he slowly runs his hand through my hair while his eyes search mine. Blood is rushing in my ears, heart hammering in my chest. I'm speechless. No, it can't be. Can it? It was Riot? If so, did he plan that? Was it because of his hatred for Matt? Tilting his head to the side, he drops his eyes to my lips. You've been asking about a chosen? His eyes come back to mine. All you need to know is this. Stepping into me, he gently pulls my head back by my hair, forcing me to look up at him. I swallow nervously. It means that what I did to you was just the beginning. Lowering his lips to my ear, he adds, I'll own you, Blake. He shortens my name. His free hand comes up and he trails a finger down my neck over him. My racing pulse, making my body break out in goosebumps. And I think that's exactly what you want. With that, he takes a step back, leaving me to watch him walk away, my pussy now wet and shocked that it was him. This is like getting intense for me, and reading this to you guys, we're gonna continue. Now, here we go from Riot's perspective. Well, actually, real quick, I believe that whatever's going on with Riot and Matt, maybe Matt didn't cheat. He's still a rapist, but maybe Matt didn't cheat on her. Maybe she's someone else. Like, we haven't got a story from Matt. We just got Blakely and Riot. Now, if we get something from Matt, that would be nice to be able to understand. It would be nice to be able to understand, to comprehend it, to just in general. Sorry, guys, give me a second. To just in general be able to understand that whole entire process. So, it's been a week since the party at the House of the Lords, and she's been on my mind every second of every day. I see her here and there, but I don't approach her. I don't have to. The way she avoids me tells me exactly what I need to know she thinks of me. I doubt she remembers much from that night. She was wasted. And in a sense, I took advantage of her in more ways than one. And I'm not even sorry. Making my way up the stairs to the third floor, I enter the library of Barrington. It's after 10 o'clock on a Friday night, and she's here studying like the good little girl she is. Looking around, I scan the rows of tables and empty chairs. The students are getting drunk and fucking. No one here has to study. Parents pay for their kids to attend this college, knowing it guarantees them perfect grades. But Blakely, I know she's here. I know where she's at all the time. If I'm not following her, I'm watching her. Shoving my hand in the front pockets of my jeans, I start to walk past the rows of bookshelves, looking down either side for her, passing the second to last. Sorry, guys. I keep yawning. Give me a second. Anyways, where were we? Passing the second to last one. I pause and take a step back. She stands at the end, an open book in her hands, staring down at it, lost in her own little world. Such a stupid move. Anyone could drag her out of here kicking and screaming, and no one would ever know. She'd just disappear. Poof, like magic. Thankfully for her, I'm not going to do that. Instead, pull out my cell phone and take a pic of her. Then I send it to her. I overheard her conversation with Matt in the hallway on Monday. She thought he was the guy she allowed to go down on her at the party. I wanted her to know it was me. I did that to her. It was just the beginning of what I can do. I gave her little information she needed in order to want more. She's already curious, but now I want her needy, begging for what Matt hasn't been able to give her. I don't hear it go off. She just readjusts the book in one hand to hold it while grabbing her cell with the other. She opens it up. Her body stiffens when she sees the incoming picture message. I watch the way her tits start to bounce at her intake of breath, and I lick my lips. Her head snaps, and her wide blue eyes meet mine. Riot? She asks nervously, her eyes shooting behind me. I stand at the end of the aisle, trapping her between the bookcases and the wall behind her. She's got no way out. What are you doing here? I have to refrain from smirking. She doesn't care that I took her number that night. Instead, her concern is why I'm here, stalking her. I don't answer, but start walking over to her. She turns to fully face me, and she takes a few steps back. A big mistake. It just places her back against the wall, giving me an even better advantage of keeping her here. Ripping the book from her hands, I drop it to the floor by her feet. She looks up at me, her pretty blue eyes searching mine. She's got her glasses on tight, and I find them sexy as fuck. Stepping into her, I reach up, cup her face, my free hand sliding behind her back to pull her into me. Leaning down, I trail my lips along her ear, and she melts into mine. Her soft yet firm body presses into me, and I whisper, I can still taste you. She inhales sharply at my words, her hands gripping my shirt. You tasted like goddamn honey, I growl. My hand moving into her long, thick hair. So fucking sweet. She whimpers. So fucking addicting. My cock is hard. Straining against my jeans. I want to fuck her pretty face right here. I don't know how Matt was ever able to deny her. Wait, she breathes. Her hands start to push me away and I take a step back. I need her to accept me for now. After the vow ceremony, I could force her to do whatever I want. I drop my hands to my sides, but I don't speak. Instead, I just stare at her, taking in the way her cheeks blush and her lips part while her breathing picks up. I imagine her doing that while I pin her down, legs wrapped around my hips and my cock fucking that tight pussy and her screaming my name while I pull out and come all over her pretty face. She bows her head and pushes her hair behind her ear. She's nervous. It's cute to see her like this around me, especially since I've already had my tongue shoved up her cunt. I want to know what you meant, lifting her eyes. She looks up at me through her dark lashes, adjusting her glasses up on her nose. I act stupid. About? The chosen one. Licking her lips, she crosses her arms over her chest. What does it mean? I don't understand. You don't have to. I interrupt her. Her lips thin. She looks away from me, huffing. Why would someone willingly give themselves to someone that they know nothing about? Is that why she's here? She's trying to find a book about a lord? Although I can understand her concern, it doesn't mean I sympathize enough to give her what she wants. As a lord, we don't know everything going in. Another lord cannot share secrets with someone who isn't a member. So even my father couldn't tell me much about it. It was just something I had to do, just like her. She's a direct order that I have to follow. I won't lose my lord title for her. I've worked too hard and sacrificed too much to let her get away. So I give her a little something to think about. Choosing my question carefully, I ask, haven't you ever wanted to do something for yourself? She rolls her eyes. Of course. I know when I'm done with her, she will be Matt's wife. It won't matter if she hates him or not. She will spend the rest of her life serving him. But before then, she'll serve me. I've tried to look it up online. I laugh and her eyes shoot daggers at me. You won't find anything about a lord or chosen one on the internet. Growling, she stomps her foot. Then where? Stepping back into her, I place my hand flat against the wall on either side of her head. She stiffens, sucking in a breath. You won't find anything about us anywhere, because the lords don't discuss their lives with the outsiders. I say simply. The tip of her tongue peeks out before she sucks the bottom lip and nibbles on it. She pauses, choose to be your chosen one, lowering her voice. She whimpers, will you hurt me? Giving her a smirk, I answer truthfully. Yes. She whimpers, her eyes falling close. But I'll also make you like it. Her eyes open and she stares up at me. I could see it. She's so fucking curious. Blakely Anderson is starving for something that not just any man can give her, but I can. I'll show her just what Matt refused to do. Matt didn't want you, Blakely. Oh, Matt didn't want you, Blake, I say, dropping my hand from the wall. I run it down her neck, feeling her pulse race. But I do. Not a total lie. I might have never looked at her twice, if not for the order to make her my chosen. But I see her now, and she's exactly what I fucking need. A toy to use, a body to fuck, and a sweet fucking revenge. You only want me because of Matt, she states, sticking out her chin as if she can read my mind. I smile but don't correct her. Blakely's a smart woman. Instead I say, and that's the exact reason you'll choose to be mine. With that, I push off the wall, giving her my back, and leave her standing there to think about our conversation. That is so insane. I feel like the chapters are getting like a little bit longer. But we'll go ahead and finish off with this one before my camera dies. Monday afternoon, I enter the apartment and walk into my bedroom. It's been a long day. I'm exhausted and want nothing more than to lie down in my bed and go to sleep. I didn't sleep all weekend. Instead, I lay in bed thinking over what Riot said to me in the library Friday night. He's right about several things, but he was wrong about me only wanting to be his because of Matt. I've let him dictate my life for too long. For what? A pretend relationship? The thought of being Riot's chosen is only that being his, removing only that being his, removing the hoodie. I go to toss it onto the bed, but pause when I spot a small black box already sitting on it. Sarah? I call out. As far as I know, she's still in class. That wasn't there when I left this morning. Walking over to it, I open it up to see a note that says, "Drink me," sitting next to a small vial of clear liquid. I've never seen anything like it before. I popped pills back in high school with Sarah, but never done anything liquid other than alcohol. Something tells me that this isn't vodka. There's also a small picture underneath it. I pick it up and flip it over. It's of me in the library. The same one that Riot sent me before I found him standing in the library. My head snaps up. Doing a quick look around my room, my heart accelerates and I stare back at it in my hand. Hello? I call out again. Is someone here? No answer. Riot? I asked, swallowing nervously. He took that picture, so he had to have left this box. How'd he get in? Did he ask Sarah to help him? I jump when my cell rings, dropping the vial and picture onto the bed. I grab my phone and hit answer. Hello? Trying to stay calm, my heart racing. Trying to calm my racing heart. You embarrassed him? My mother snaps in my ear. What? I ask doing another quick look around my room. I walk to my closet and look inside it, but it's all clear. Matt, she growls. Kimberly said you embarrassed him in front of his peers on Friday. I'm not talking about this, Mom. I say, going into my bathroom, still alone. I don't know what the hell is happening here, but know this, Blakely Ray. You will not mess this up for the family. You will get married to Matt. Keep this up and it'll be much sooner than expected. She hangs up. I come back to my room, plop down on the side of my bed. The vial sits next to me, and tears fill my eyes. I can't stop it. I can't control it. My life has never been mine. Why did I think it would be now? I will be Mrs. Blakely Winston no matter what I do. The thought is crippling, knowing I'll live a lie in a loveless marriage. I did have feelings for Matt. It took me a while, but I was okay with spending forever with him. Now, I despise him. I'll never respect him. I'll never willingly marry him. My mother will have to drag me down the aisle if that's the case. Riot? Do I think his sudden interest in me has to do with Matt? Absolutely. Do I care? No. As far as I'm concerned, Matt can kiss my ass. He can do whatever he wants. So can I. And that includes letting Riot have his way with me. Making up my mind, I pop the top of the vial and toss back the odorless and soapy tasting liquid. Drink it like the note said. Fuck it. I enter her apartment knowing that she's home alone. I made sure of it. Pushing her bedroom door open, I find her lying on the bed. She's on her back, her hands up by her head, eyes closed and breathing deeply, passed out. She took the GHB. This motherfucker drugged her with GHB? I figured she would. People in our world are always looking for a way to escape reality. I needed another taste of her. And there are rules for a reason. Walking over to the side of the bed, I pulled the covers off her to find she had changed into an oversized t-shirt before it kicked in. I fist the material in my hands, thinking it belongs to her cheating ex, yanking it up to see if she's got a pair of black lace underwear. Oh, I see she's got a... Yanking it up, I see she's got a pair of black lace underwear. Letting go of the shirt, I place my hand on her flat stomach and slide the tips of my fingers into the fabric, teasing myself. My cock is hard. Straining against my zipper. I want to fuck her so bad. Ever since I saw her sprawled out on the floor, I wanted to take her dark hair in my hands and shove my dick down her throat and make her pretty blue eyes cry. The rules of the ritual are simple. The chosen must offer herself. The chosen must offer herself. She has shown me interest by showing up at the party. If there was any doubt that what she was doing there, my bedroom proved she wanted something. Even if it was just revenge on Matt, I'll take that. That's something I can use. Typically, the chosen one and Lord know each other. They've been friends, or they've dated. Few instances are like Blakely and me, when the Lord is forced to pick a certain chosen one. There are women at Barrington who would kill to be a chosen. Serving a Lord is an honor for them. Matt has kept her in the dark for a reason. He didn't want her to know what was going on. He thought it didn't matter, and she was a sure thing for him. Now that's no longer a possibility. So his reasons for keeping her in the dark have changed. I wouldn't say she would have been my first choice because I never thought of her like that. Is she hot? Yeah. I knew she was off limits. Even after I was given the order, I had reservations. That was until I started planning myself and her life. I've been following her for several weeks now. Then after the little taste she gave me, I've been salivating, wanting more. If I had revealed myself to her in my bedroom that night, she wouldn't have allowed me to touch her. If the chosen one accepts, she is yours until you no longer have use for her. She won't remember that motherfucker's name after I have my way with her. Slowly, I hook my fingers into her underwear and pull them down her tan legs, letting my knuckles graze her smooth skin, gripping her thighs. I push them apart and crawl onto the bed to kneel between them. I look over her shaved pussy, bringing that fabric to my face. I inhale, my cock jerking in my pants. Fuck, I need to be inside her, but that can't happen tonight. Not yet. The rules are clear, but they don't say anything about playing with her. They allow us just enough to hang ourselves. The lords are always testing us. I throw the underwear to the floor and slide my hands up the inside of her thighs to her cunt. I bite my lip, spreading her lips open for me. God damn, I whisper, slipping a finger inside her. She's not wet, but I didn't expect her to be. Bringing my finger to my mouth, I suck on it up to my knuckle and slide it back in, gently testing the waters while my eyes go to her face. Her head is tilted to the left, her dark hair covering her pillow, and her breathing remains unfazed. I reach up with my free hand to shove her shirt further to expose her chest to me. I smile at the fact she's not wearing a bra. Her breasts are fucking amazing. They are round and firm. They fit in my hand perfectly with pretty pink nipples and small areolas. Looking back down at her pussy, it's getting wetter. I remove my finger and add another one. She doesn't move. My girl has proven that I own her, and I can't wait to show her what that means. I start to get more and more aggressive. Her head moves to the other side and a whimper escapes her lips. I didn't even give her very much GHB because of her small size. I didn't want her to experience too many side effects. I just needed her to be drowsy. 1 second, camera died. Anyways, this book is fucking insane. Alright. Where were we? I just need her to be drowsy and impaired to the point I could play with her. Plus, it can increase an urge for sex. She arches her back for me, her lips parting, and I watch the way her nipples harden as her pussy tightens around my fingers. I readjust myself on the bed, placing my left hand by her head. I lean all my weight on it while forcing a third finger into her tight cunt. My cock twitches with anticipation to be inside her, to be the first there, to own her. Her breath catches, and I gently kiss the corner of her lips. Beautiful. Riot? She moans. Yeah, Blake, it's me. I tell her and she whimpers. Even drugged and only half conscious, she knows I'm the one touching her. I begin to finger fuck her roughly while my thumb plays with her clit. Her body rocks back and forth, making her tits bounce and the bed squeak. She lets out a cry when her pussy clamps down and she comes all over my fingers. Something about having her like this, having total control over her body, is very powerful. Knowing she willingly took something I gave her without any knowledge of what it was. She's craving to be owned, to be dominated, to be mine. I stop and her eyes remain closed, bringing my fingers to her mouth. I rub them over her parted lips, smearing her cum across them like icing. Soon, little one, I tell her before... I can't. I fucking can't. I can't. I fucking can't. I can't. That's a line where it's like, I don't think you should have said that. I do not think that should have been said, because I'm a huge Marvel fan, and when Thanos says soon little one, that's what I thought of when he's talking to little Gamora. That's a child. Oh, God, dude, that's something that should not be said. Should not be said. Back to it. I tell her before I stick them in my own mouth, licking them clean, tasting that fucking honey that I have been craving after she gave herself to me in my bedroom. Pushing off the bed, I move to a sitting position between her legs, shaking. I reach down and grab the collar of the oversized shirt, rip it down the middle. I'll burn this, I say to myself, pulling her arms out of it, knowing that I'm one step closer to owning her and erasing any trace of Matt. Reaching into my back pocket, I pull out the card and lay it on her nightstand. Now, I wait. Alright, do we continue with chapter 12, or do we save it for the next one? The last stream we read 9 chapters. This one we've only read 3. This will be the 4th. Let's see what chat says. I don't know. We're getting to the juicy part where she becomes the chosen one. I want to read it, but however, I want to see how everyone else is feeling. I'm gonna say fucking and go with my gut instead, and we're just gonna read this one, and then we'll continue with 13 and 14, probably 15, 16 on next stream. Let's go, Murphy. Let's go. Let's go, Murphy. Let's go. Level 1. All right. So now we get from Blakely's perspective again, the chosen one. I read over the white card in my hand that was left on my nightstand Monday night after he visited me. Lifting my eyes to the cathedral, I sink my teeth into my bottom lip to nibble it. But 1 second.
need a vape. All right. I sink my teeth into my bottom lip to nibble on it nervously. It's what one would think of, large and medieval looking, with high walls and spears on top. It sits in the middle of nowhere off the 2-lane road. It reminds me of something you'd see in a scary movie where kids come to haunted buildings to explore. Only they all end up dead in various rooms due to blunt force trauma, and the villain smears their blood along the walls. Okay, maybe I've watched too many scary movies lately, but an old white cross sits above the main entrance. You could see where it was upright due to the discoloration, but at some point it has fallen. The wind rocks it slightly back and forth, making a creaking sound, just adding the ick factor. It could not be scarier if it was made for a movie set. It's cold out tonight. My body shakes, my teeth chatter while I stand in low-cut black mini dress that barely covers my ass and red Gucci heels. Damn, she bougie. I have all the weight on the balls of my feet, otherwise they'd sink into the soft ground. I did my makeup heavy with smoky eyes, thick eyeliner, and red lipstick. I probably look like a cheap hooker walking the streets to find a John. But I won't be getting paid for what I'm about to do. No, I am going to freely give it away. Hand it over to a man who I know will use it, abuse it. Looking back down at the card, I flip over to see the ritual vows ceremony. Typed out along with the address I had to Google. It was exactly 30 minutes from campus, tucked back in the middle of nowhere. Below that it reads, once the chosen accepts her duty, she is bound to serve him. I am getting to be part of a ritual of the Lord's. I know it seems as creepy as it sounds, but I need something new in my life. It's been missing something for as long as I can remember, and Riot made me realize what that is. Haven't you ever wanted to do something for yourself? His question in the library made me think. From a young age, I've had dreams of what I wanted for a future, but my parents have shot them down one by one. I wanted to go to Stanford, but that wasn't an option. Barrington is where you'll go. My mother told me that when I was 12. No argument. I like Barrington, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't my first choice. I wanted to be normal for once. I went to private school all my life, so Barrington really feels no different. It's secluded in the middle of Pennsylvania. It's for rich kids, the elite. The ones with criminal records a mile long that daddies have paid off and judges have brushed under the rug. What could possibly go wrong when you put them all into one place? They are the men and women born and bred to take over their family's business one day. The degrees are formalities. You need the accolades on paper, even though they're just handed. Even though they are just handed that billion-dollar empire once they graduate. I guess that's another factor that led me into the middle of nowhere at this cathedral, bored out of my fucking mind. Every day of my entire life has been planned out for me. The sports I was allowed to play, the grades I had to make, the man I'll marry. It's been painfully exhausting. Do you ever just want to shut it all off? Not to have to think about it the next second of your life. Go on an unplanned road trip. Have a one-night stand with a cute guy who you scrolled past on your timeline. Social media makes you think you have all this freedom, but you don't. Not really. You're stuck behind a device watching others live out their dreams. You post selfies of fake smiles and expensive clothes, hoping that someone will envy you, reassure you, and just how good you have it. All the while, you've been hating your life. Smile, dear. You never know who's watching you. That's Riot's voice. Smile, dear. You never know who's watching you.
My mother always tells me. Desperation is never pretty. Riot is my way out. Being a chosen one is my escape. Well, at least for now. Who knows how long it'll last? Maybe it's all for pretend, but it's something I want to do. Taking in a deep breath, I begin to climb the stairs into the building, pushing open the heavy doors. They squeak, informing whoever is here of my arrival. My heart hammers. My heart hammers in my chest while I walk down the central aisle. Figures fill the large pews on either side. They're all dressed in black cloaks and white masks. I wasn't raised religious, so I've never been to church before. I was expected places like this to be the color of gold, shiny and expensive, to give you an overwhelming feeling of like calmness. That couldn't be further from the truth. It's old. The high ceilings are the same color as a dark night. You can see there were once paintings on them, but over time, faded to unrecognizable. The floor is covered in leaves and branches. It's just as cold as it was outside, and the old stained glass whistles from the heavy winds. Ahead of me looks like a large stage and altar. On both sides are long staircases that take you up to a loft overlooking the congregation. In the middle of the loft sits a tub for baptism, sunk into the floor up against the ledge. The side facing us is all glass to allow the people of the church to witness. 3 steps on either side step down into the water, and it has to be about 4 feet deep. I make my way on shaky legs to the front, leaves and branches that cover parts of the rotting floor crunching under my heels, old, outdated, and very abandoned looking. This place is nothing like the hotel where they live. It makes me wonder why they would use it for anything. Coming to a stop at the front, I notice in the first 2 rows, sitting next to the ones dressed in cloaks and masks, are women, none of which are covered. They're like me, each wearing dresses and heels. The girl on the far end catches my attention. It's Sarah. Catches my attention. It's Sarah. I go to walk over to her, but stop when I see the woman next to her. It's the blonde from the party. Oh my God. From the party at the House of Lords, Matt's girlfriend. Is he here? If so, he's wearing a cloak and mask. The hairs on the back of my neck rise, thinking he's watching me. But I notice you can't see any of the women's hands or arms. Looking closer, I realize they must be behind their backs. My heart hammers, blood rushing in my ears at the eerie silence in such a large building it's deafening. I jump when a hand lands on my shoulder from behind. I try to turn around, but it prevents me from doing so. Instead, he runs his hand down my arm slowly, and I know he can feel me shaking. When he gets to my wrist, he gently brings them behind my back. I close my eyes, knowing I'm going to accept what's coming, no matter what happens here tonight. This feels really tight, sorry. Where was I? No matter what happens here tonight, it'll be because I took a chance. I chose to be here. I chose to be his for however long he decides he wants me. He grips both of my wrists in one of his hands, and then I hear the sound of metal. My chest rises and falls with each erratic intake of breath. I look out at Sarah, and she has her head down, staring at the floor. A quick glance down at the first row shows them all doing it. The cold metal wraps around my wrist, and he secures the handcuffs one at a time, to the point they pinch my skin, making me whimper. Are they too tight? I recognize Riot's voice pulling my hair off my shoulder. Yes, I answer softly. Good. Then he tightens each one of them one more click, and I hiss in a breath. Will you hurt me? Yes. I expect there to be pain involved, and part of me is excited about that. Grabbing my upper arm, he yanks me back. Now we go from Ride's perspective. I lead her up the stairs with my hand on her upper arm, my fingers digging into her soft skin. I've been waiting for this day for too long. Seems like forever since I was told to take her as my chosen, but it's finally here. Making our way to the platform, I bring her over the small pool-like structure that was added for us to perform the ritual. The lords were given this building a long time ago. First thing they did was gut the inside. It's not your average cathedral. Things have been added to accommodate our traditions. She fumbles to a stop at the edge, and I hear her breathing pick up. I'm about to tell her to get into the water, but she takes the first step herself. I bite back a smile. My girl wants to give herself to me, and I can't wait to make her mine. Usually this is done with the chosen naked, but she will be leaving her clothes on. I don't want anyone seeing her body. The point of the ritual is to cleanse them from their past sexual partners, but I'm extremely territorial over what's mine. I've watched women at Barrington for the last 3 years throw themselves around waiting for the day to be a chosen one. It just so happens she's never had sex. But the vow ceremony must be performed nonetheless in order to solidify the ritual. He still kissed her, held her, and messed around with her, I'm sure. I want to wipe any piece of him remaining clean from her body. As part of the ritual, we have to show ownership. You either fuck their mouth, pussy, or ass. It's not to please them. It's not to please them. It's for us to claim them. So since I'm selfish and refuse to show what I have, her mouth will do. Once we're done, I'll take her out back and fuck that tight cunt in the woods, on the ground, or up against a tree. It doesn't matter. Everyone will see she's mine from the bite marks on her legs and hickeys on her neck. Blakely will be owned by a lord. I will make sure everyone is well aware of that. She takes the last step, the warm water coming up to her chest as I stand next to her, letting go of her upper arm. I reach out and push the dark hair from her face, getting it wet with my fingers. She looks so pretty right now with her makeup done and hair fixed. I'm getting ready to ruin it. Recite your vow, I order. Her eyes widen for a brief second. She licks her lips nervously, takes in a deep breath. I vow. Good girl. She was paying attention to the flyer that she had wadded up in her hand. You vow. I acknowledge and nod my head at her to say the last part with me. We vow, we say in unison. Then I reach up, gripping her hair, while I kick her feet out from underneath her and shove her under the water, holding her there. She starts to fight immediately, so hard that the water splashes over the top of the glass, falling to the first floor. Yanking her up, she begins choking the moment her face breaks the surface. I drag her over the stairs to my right, sit on the top one, letting go of her for a quick second to undo my belt, followed by my jeans. She's gasping for breath while coughing up water at the same time. It's the only sound in the church. Everyone below sits silent, patiently waiting for me to claim my chosen one, Matt included. I hope the fucker sees how much she wants this, me. She's hunched over the best she can without her face being in the water. Most of her now wet hair covers it. She can't do anything about it since her hands are still cuffed behind her back. I pull my hard cock out and stroke it a few times, allowing her an extra second to catch her breath, knowing I'm about to make it worse. Then I reach out gently, moving her hair from her face with my fingertips to get a look at her. Black puddles under her eyes before running down her cheeks. Her wet lashes are stuck together and her parted lips are trembling while water runs off her chin. Her pretty blue eyes are red and full of apprehension. It's too late now, little one. You belong to me. Once again, that fucking little one line, I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, there's something else you could say. I slide my hand through the water, gathering up all her long, wet hair to the back of her neck. Once I have it all, I grip it and yank her to me. Kneel, I order. Her knees fall to the third step below me, making her whimper. Open your mouth. Her wide eyes look over my dick, and I smile at the look of terror she has. She takes in one last deep breath and licks her lips before opening her pretty painted mouth for me. Gripping the base of my cock, I slide it into her mouth. I'm not gentle. Her gagging fills the space of the church, and the water once rolls over the sides while I control her head. Up and down, she bounces on my dick. She's trying to fight me and pull away, but I don't let go. Instead, I grip her hair harder, forcing more of my cock down her throat. She closes her eyes tightly and her face scrunches as I hit the back, making her gag again. Look at me, I demand. Her eyes open, and I could see the tears run down her cheeks through the water already covering her face. Relax and open up for me, I whispered to her, slowing my rhythm, giving her a second to catch her breath. She blinks, and new tears run down her face. I scoot forward, my ass hanging off the end of the step, getting in a better position. I pull out and she sucks in a gasp. Open wide for me, I say softly, wiping the tears from her face with my free hand, smearing the black eyeliner and mascara. Stick your tongue out and breathe through your nose. Swallowing, she opens her mouth as wide as it'll go and sticks her tongue out. I bring her head down and her mouth taking me in once again. I lean my head back and close my eyes, not caring to watch, just wanting to come. I hit the back of her throat and her body fights me while gagging returns. This time I don't let up. My balls tighten, my breathing picks up. I shove her head down one last time and hold it there as I come, forcing her to swallow. Okay. Okay, there's way more. Oh my god. Sploosh, yeah. I'm just gonna read the first sentence. I'm gasping for her breath as his cum, water, and drool runs down my chin. My body shakes uncontrollably, my knees rubbed raw from the steps, everything hurts from tensing, and my hands have gone numb from the handcuffs. I remain kneeling as he... We can't. No more. An hour, 30-minute stream. It's long enough for reading this. That's okay. Look, I really appreciate everyone being here with me. Thank you so much. We can go ahead and we'll get into it next week on next Saturday around the same time. Thank you so much, Delightful. Thank you, Murphy. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for interacting. Honestly, this is a great book. I like it. It's just really fucking vulgar. So anyways, thank you so much. I will see you guys next time, and actually see you in the next video. Peace.